Welcome back to A Celtic State of Mind. I'm Paul John Dykes and I will be joined by John Paul Mason for our halftime analysis. But before JP joins us, let's have a look at your feelings around that first half performance. Hugh Lynn commenting on YouTube, and so the dross continues. Hugh, if you are watching on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to State of Mind. We smashed through 1 million YouTube views yesterday, so keep the support coming in. It's much appreciated. Kaplan Mark, who joins us on a regular basis, is also commenting on YouTube to say at what point is enough, and I think that is the kind of feeling that I'm getting as well, to be honest with you. It's getting to that stage where you were seeing the same types of performances served up time and time again. I'm going to work through as many of your comments as possible. Charming man, PR, painful to watch. It's the same old, I think. I mean, I was surprised to hear Alan Stubbs on the commentary saying that was a brighter performance by Celtic, or a brighter start in any case by Celtic. I have not seen a brighter start from Celtic. 9 minutes into the game, we see Near Beaton having to clear one off the line with a header from Stevie May. Stevie May, for me, is someone who we should know all about. I think he's been St Johnstone's best player the last twice that we've played them. 2-0 at McDiarmid Park this season, 1-0 in the Cup last season when Christie scored in a tight game on bad conditions. But yeah, we're clearing the ball off the line in 9 minutes. I noticed that at least 3 occasions, the defenders in the central area basically just lofted long, searching, hopeful punts up the park, right through the middle, hoping that we could do something with that. We have absolutely no creative zest whatsoever, no flair. Barkas came out in 20 minutes from a cross, and he just simply couldn't grasp at a free kick that had come in. So, these are the types of things that were being served up, and it's just not good enough. I've got plenty of comments to work through, so I will work through them as many as possible. I'm just trying to get John Paul into the room as well, and hopefully he will join us as soon as he gets the invite as well. Then we're looking at Eddie one-on-one. It was a great ball from Callum McGregor. I think there's been a few really good balls from McGregor in the first half, but Edouard should have scored. You would have put your mortgage on him scoring after the other night when you see his finish against AC Milan. I think that Celtic is very much reminiscent of the first half performance at Easter Road. It's one pace, there's no cutting edge. Easy, so easy for St Johnstone to play against us. John Paul will be in on the broadcast in just a second. Welcome back, John Paul. How are you doing? How did you get through that first half? I'm just saying I'm very disappointed, John Paul, and the comments are coming in are exactly the same. One paced, no cutting edge. What I've found as well, absolutely no real width in the Celtic side, which means that we're not stretching the back line. There was a point where Christie plays it through to Rogic, good bit of interplay, it goes out to Eddie. We had nothing wide, everything through the centre, very one-paced, and we're really lacking any creativity. You feel what's in your cup? Is it a wee bit stronger than the Diet Coke that's in mine?
Just coffee. Although I could do with something a bit stronger, to be honest. I don't think it was by any means the worst 45 minutes I've seen of Celtic this season. And if you take that game in isolation, if you try to take it in isolation, it's forget everything else that's happened. Have we seen a first half like this before against St Johnstone or anybody else in the league? Yes, we have, but you don't get that feeling when Edouard picks up the ball that he's going to do the damage. You just expect it, like the St Johnstone defender. Is that Chris McCart's son, by the way?
Yeah, he was at Celtic for years, and I think he went to Inverness Cali initially, John Paul, and then obviously he's now playing top level of Scottish football. But
you just expect their players to just get that touch rather than do the sort of the very final point where you obviously create a space for yourself to get a goal. They all get header, like that. I know he's not renowned for his headers, but I mean that is a really easy chance, isn't it? That the Rogic header early on, and then that moment where the ball gets played back to their keeper, but it looks like it's going to go beyond them. It looks like it's maybe an own goal. You know, in another game that goes in, we're suddenly 1-0 up. Everybody calms down. But the longer the game went on, the more desperate we got. Obviously, you got the customary Ryan Christie skied shot over the bar. But it's like you said, like it's almost just like that. The two sides of the pitch that go down to the corner flag, basically that those bits there like that are just completely cut off. Everything is just going into here, and they're constantly never hitting down those lines, and it's so frustrating.
It is frustrating. The DJ of choice who joins us regularly on the broadcast, you're watching on YouTube, so welcome to the show. I think we're all feeling the same. We're not seeing the halftime analysis from Stan Petrov, but apparently isn't taking any prisoners on Celtic TV. He will get his balls felt by the club for being so honest. And this is the thing that I think we were all frustrated with this. It was everybody was singing for the same hymn sheet, and it was just meaningless words that we were getting during the week. From Scott Brown and his video and from the gaffer, and it's game after game, it's the same things we're getting told. I'm looking at a Celtic side just now that are devoid of any ideas. In the first half we're playing, I mean, the thing is, JP, we see so many games like this over a season, and we've seen it over the last 3 or 4 years where nothing much is happening. They're playing with a very tight unit, sometimes 10 men behind the ball, and you kind of think, well, the goal will come. I remember the game in the rain midweek against Hamilton last season, and you just knew, even though we were 1-up, they were going to score. It came from a long throw-in, and we were relying on Bruni to score the winner that night. But I just don't have the same belief that, sitting at nothing each as we did against Hibs, I just don't have the same belief that we can get that spark, that wee bit of creative genius. I know Christie's trying. He's all over the park, Christie. That's one thing about him. All over the park, and he's trying to open things up. Wee Frimpong, I think he got past his man once and won a corner, but pretty ineffective. And as you say, the Eddie of last season, every time the ball comes to him on a one-on-one situation, it's goal bound. This season, that's not the case. The big question for me, every time we're playing like that at half-time, what changes do we make, if any? Because Neil Lennon doesn't like making changes at half-time, unfortunately. Would you make the change just now? And if so, what change would you make?
I mean, it would be a bit obvious to say bring Griffiths on, possibly for Rogic. But I thought Rogic just played pretty well. His touch has been good. He sent 2 of their players for the dinner down in the sort of bottom of our half earlier on, but there's been no real final sort of penetration from him. There's not been any shots of note. Yes, he had a header, but I just wonder if Griffiths coming on would give us a bit of spark up there. I mean, his nickname is Sparky, so you know what I mean.
I think that's more to do with his IQ than anything else.
Aye. I mean, I try to separate Wee Griffiths the player from Wee Griffiths the person. I think Griffiths will be sitting there itching to get on and do some damage, because we absolutely battered St Johnstone at McDermott Park earlier on this year. Remember that? I mean, that game, we destroyed them. Now that first half, we just completely blew them away. They didn't have anything. It didn't matter what their defensive unit was like or their shape was like. Mm-hmm. We destroyed them, and that was with Griffiths and Edouard up front. I'm pretty sure it was anyway.
Well, see the thing you mentioned there with Griffiths, and we've got the same points coming in from Jungle Line and a few others. Griffiths is the guy that comes on and stretches the back line, JP. And again, you look at Edouard, he gets the ball so often where he's back to goal and 3 defenders round about him. By the time he's actually got control of the ball, there's nowhere for him to go. He doesn't have the width to start stretching the defenders. And the one guy that does that, he's always got them on the back foot. We've seen it against Hibs, is Lee Griffiths. He comes in, 19 minutes to go at Easter Road. And that's when we actually start to get back into the game, and we managed to get a draw out of it. and it was one of the ones, had it happened 10, 15 minutes early, it might have been a brilliant comeback, and we might have won the game, because he does do that. That's what he does. He's a pest, he's a menace. He gets in about the back line. He started stretching Hanlon and Porteous against Hibs, who hadn't been really troubled by a Yeti or Edouard for the entire game. So yeah, you said it seems like an obvious choice. It does seem like an obvious choice, but why don't we actually make that change? That's the big thing. Someone was speaking earlier on about shambolic and Beaton in the same sentence. On 46 minutes, I mean, Beaton gives the ball away. When he tries to win it back, him and Brown stand and look at each other while the guy darts away. That we have that in us, John Paul. We have Barkas coming out for a cross and not really sure if he should catch it or punch it. This is what frightens me at Nothing Each. We have that shambolic nature in us to actually go a goal down. That's why we need to make a change.
It was weird, the commentator actually said, Rory Hamilton said the exact same thing that I'd said before the game, where I said you can't really expect Barkas to have that much confidence when he's playing behind a defence that has shipped so many goals of late. Whether he's at fault for all or some of them, I don't know. You could probably analyse that, but yeah, I think, and Alan Stimpson even said, I think Celtic are looking better out of possession, and they're looking a bit more solid. And then like right at the edge, the stroke of half time, we look like we're about to give away a goal from out of nothing. That was worrying. That really was.
It does, and I know that there's this rot kind of developed. I know that it affects the confidence of the players, and I think Beaton's kind of looked assured throughout the game. To be honest, as I say, praise on 9 minutes where he clears the ball off the line, but that's just, you can't do that. I mean, that would have been absolutely catastrophic at 46 minutes to throw that. Sean McCrory also makes a good point. Get Griffiths on the set pieces. It's a massive reason why he needs to be on the park. I totally agree with you, because we focus so much on some of the poor deliveries from Ryan Christie. I mean, it's one end of the scale to the next. You see him scoring that goal at Hampden in the semi-final, John Paul. You know he can strike a ball, and then you see him try to take a corner, and he often doesn't get past the first man. Free kicks often end up in Rose Ed. Griffiths takes that onus from Christie. Christie, just concentrate on your game. And again, I feel like we're a one-trick pony. Let's get Griffiths, get me Beltrami. It's like to save the day, get him in. But let's see what he does at halftime. Lenny doesn't seem too keen on making substitutes at half time. Griffiths, I can see, still got his big jacket on. We're about to go into the second half. St Johnstone certainly are on the park. John Paul, I'll dial you in just before full time. Enjoy the second half. Here's hoping there's something to talk about positively when I see you at full time.
Aye, let's hope so. Cheers.